Star Trek. Yes, I'm finally going to tackle on the J.J. Abrams Star Trek films. I'm not going to review the original motion picture films or the Next Generation films because that will take a long time and it's going to be a waste of time. So I decided to tackle on the two J.J. Abrams Star Trek films, starting off with, of course, the 2009 reboot. I will admit, I'm not the biggest Trekkie out there. I'm a casual Trekkie. I watched some episodes of the original 60s TV show. I watched some episodes of the Next Generation TV show. Haven't watched any of the other shows that came out recently, like Voyage, Deep Space Nine, and Enterprise. I never watched those shows. The only shows I really watch is the original 60s show and the Next Generation. So I'm not the biggest Trekkie fan. I'm a casual Trekkie fan. I remember seeing a teaser trailer for this movie back in early 2008, and I was thinking to myself, what is this? What is this? Cause I barely got introduced into Star Trek at that time. So me and my cousin saw Iron Man back in 2008. They played the teaser trailer for this movie. I'm thinking to myself, what in the world is this? And then I started seeing teaser posters and all these, like, what in the world is going on here? What is a Star Trek thing going on? So I never saw this movie in theaters. I will admit that. I didn't see this movie in the theaters. I didn't see Into Darkness in the theaters neither, because, like I said, I'm not the biggest Trekkie fan out there. But coming from a casual Trekkie fan, not a hardcore Trekkie, this movie is awesome. I will admit that this movie is great. This is also why I'm spending a lot for this movie. A lot of Star Trek fans hate this movie for very legitimate reasons. How they changed up the timeline, all this other stuff. But really, from a casual Trekkie fan, I don't really care about that. As long as the movie is good, I'm sold. I don't have to care about anything else. I'm just sold on this movie. I don't have to care about anything else. Another great thing that I really do love about this movie is that J.J. Abrams knows that he made this film for Star Trek fans. Also, he made this film for people who love movies like I do. So this movie is made for two people. For Star Trek fans and for movie fans. So I am a movie fan. I'm somewhat a Star Trek fan. So yeah. And the casting is spot on. Chris Pine as Captain Kirk, Zachary Quinto as Spock, Zoe Saldana as Aurora, Carl Urban as McCoy, John Cho as Sulu, and the late Agent Yelchin, rest in peace, as Chekhov, and the man Simon Pegg as Scotty, who is my favorite character in this film. I also forgot to mention that Chris Hemsworth plays Kirk's father in this movie. Before he was Thor, he was in Star Trek. I'm like, man, not a bad place to start, buddy. What I really loved about this movie is that it centers around Kirk, who before he joined the Enterprise, he started going to a lot of bars, started some trouble, started some fights, and then the guy comes out to him telling him how about you join this crew, the Enterprise crew. Then he starts to join the crew, and then he started to develop the relationship with these people, which is kind of great how he started from the bottom, and now he's here, basically. Which I'm kind of glad that they focus on him in this movie, and Spock, to also get a lot of screen time in this film, who his mother died in this film, which is very heartbreaking. Also his planet, spoiler alert, his planet dies in this movie, the planet Vulcan. Love the back and forth dialogue between Spock and Kirk. That's one of my favorite parts about this movie, Spock and Kirk's back and forth between those two, and then Kirk said something to provoke Spock, and then Spock eventually chokes the heck out of Kirk, and then he decided, I'm not going to be captain anymore because he had an emotional breakdown. I'm like, dang, Kirk, you messed up real bad. Well, those two end up making amends towards the final act of this movie when those two go against the main villain, Nero. Which, speaking of Nero, this is one of the weakest parts of this film. It's the villain, Nero. He is so one-dimensional, which I'm like, this is a villain. Wow, this is a villain. I mean, no, I'm not crapping on Eric Bana. He's a pretty okay actor, but really, he could have done a whole lot better in this film. But hey, he did a better job in this film than that other film that he did. Just saying. Keep in mind, I'm not a hardcore Trekkie. I am not. I'm a casual Trekkie. But keep in mind what I'm about to say. one of the best parts in this movie is seeing Leonard Nimoy again as Spock. Seeing him as Spock again was awesome. Now, like I said, I'm not a hardcore Trekkie. I am not. But seeing him was cool. And I fanboyed the heck out of him seeing him as Spock again. And I'm not even a huge Trekkie. I'm not. But it's like, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen The Force Awakens, seeing Luke again, and seeing Han Solo again, and seeing all these old great characters from the original Star Wars film, even though Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford are elders now, they still look great as their iconic roles as they played years ago. So, J.J. Abrams, 2 thumbs up for that. 1 thumbs up for Star Wars, 1 thumbs up for Star Trek. Speaking of that, since you directed The Force Awakens, I know this might not happen. Can you make a Star Wars and Star Trek crossover? Cause that would be freaking awesome. That would. I mean, come on. And you guys would agree on me on that. Star Wars and Star Trek crossover, make it happen. Make it happen. If we could get a Batman v Superman, if we could get which I'm heard they plan on that. I know I'm getting a little bit off topic right now. X-Men crossing over with the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy for Infinity War. If they can make that happen, make Star Trek and Star Wars crossover happen. Just make that happen. Fans of Star Trek will either love this movie or hate this movie for legitimate reasons. They love it because they want to see these characters again, with different actors, but they hate it because the timeline is kind of changed up. But when it comes to me as a casual Trekkie, I don't care. As long as the movie is good, which it is, it's freaking great. Because J.J. Abrams made this movie for both Star Trek fans and movie fans. So Star Trek fans, you gotta love it or hate it, whatever. But for movie fans like me, I love this movie. I really do. And it's one of my top 10 favorite sci-fi films, along with 2001: A Space Odyssey and the original Star Wars trilogy, and The Force Awakens. So, J.J. Abrams, you did a great job on this Star Trek film. I'm going to give Star Trek an A. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Look forward tomorrow for my review of Ghostbusters 2. Thank you so much for watching again. Let me know what you think of Star Trek in the comment section down below. And if you're new to my channel and you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.